So here is your first look at a retail and fake pair of the Off-White Air Jordan 4 in the sale colorway. Can you tell any difference between these two? Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we have another comparison for you, and it's a comparison I've actually done before, but a factory reached out to me and said they've updated them, so I wanted to do a new comparison just to check out what the new details are. So we have a retail pair on the left side, which I actually paid resale for, but I only paid around £600 at the time, and as you know they've gone way higher for this specific shoe. So we'll just be breaking down some of the differences to look for if you are trying to purchase a retail pair, because this is an expensive shoe and you do not want to get it wrong. So this video is sponsored by Legitmark. And it's the standard for sneaker authentication, so there is a link in the bio if you want to check them out and want to check if your sneakers are legit. And for an expensive pair like this, I'm going to say you want to. So the first thing to note is the actual damage of the boxes. So the fake pair here, you can see the box is incredibly damaged. It's completely battered, whereas the retail one is in pristine condition. It looks like it's pretty much just come out the store yesterday when the shoe has been out for quite a while. If you're comparing the Jordan logo on the top and the text on the top, there's little to no difference at all. They've got the color and the positioning of the Jordan logo absolutely spot on. There's no difference here. But when looking at the label, you can see there are differences here. So beneath where it says Women's Air Jordan 4 Retro SP, you can see the colorway code. So it says sale/muslin white black. So here you can see there's a difference in size in the text. On the retail one, it's slightly thicker, but also much more cleanly printed than it is on the fake one. But other than that, there's pretty much no difference between the box, so we'll open it up and take a look at the shoes themselves. So we'll open the fake one first. So the fake one does come with that plastic off-white kind of paper, I would call it, but it's not paper, it's plastic. And then it does come with a Chinese Nike label as well. Then it comes with what looks like, oh yeah, two spare laces. We have the mint one and a creamy white one. Then it has the shoes themselves. On the retail one, open up the box. Once again, it has the paper. I would say that the retail paper, or plastic paper, looks a little bit more cloudy than it does on the fake one. The fake one is completely clear. Open it up, and we have the spare set of three laces here. We have the black one, we have the mint one, and we have that creamy one again. I'm not sure, I couldn't see the black one in here, but I will look later on. So here is your first look at a retail and fake pair of the Off-White Air Jordan 4 in the sale colorway. Can you tell any difference between these two? So after taking the shoes out of the box, it does actually come with another Nike label, but it didn't come with any spare black laces. No, just checking they weren't inside the shoe, but they're not. So we've put the boxes to the side, and here's your first look at both pairs of shoes. So the first difference we noted was that this fake pair did not come with the spare black laces, so that is something to note if you are buying a retail pair. It should always come with those three spare laces if you are buying it dead stock. Another thing to note is on the fake one, they've attached these Chinese Nike tags. I'm not sure if this is what occurs if you do actually get these from Nike in China, but that is something to note that occurs on a fake pair and doesn't occur on a retail pair in the UK. So for this comparison, we'll just take a look at the right shoe first. So if I give you a close-up of the toe box area and we look at that mesh material going around as a toe guard, you can see there are slight differences here. So on the retail one, I'm not sure if it's going to show up in studio lighting, but it is a more darker yellow than it is on the fake one. The fake one is a lighter yellow and is a closer color to the actual Snubuck suede on the toe, whereas on the retail one, the mesh material around the front is darker and there's a bit of a mismatch between that and the Nubuck material in certain lightings. Also, if you take a close look at the toe area, you can see that the stitching going around the top is very different. There's a lot more loose material on the retail pair, actually comparing this to the fake one. The fake one, the material is cut much closer to the stitching, but once again, this would be almost impossible to tell unless you had a retail pair side by side. Looking at the inside off-white text, and I'll give you a close-up of this, you can see that the positional difference is key to see. So on the retail one, you can see the top of the O from the off-white is slightly cut off, so it's positioned differently to the fake one. On the fake one, you can see the off is completely open, and the whole text is slightly positioned more to the right. In my hand is the retail pair, and if we look at this rubberized section on the side, I'll give you a close-up of this, but in the rubberized gap that you can see here, you can see on the nubuck suede what is known as ghost stitching. And ghost stitching is where the stitching technically should be, but they've taken it out, so it just reveals the holes left behind. So if you look at that, comparing that to the fake to the retail, you can see that the ghost stitching on the retail pair is much more vivid than it is on the fake one. Even around the top of the sock liner of the shoe, you can see that ghost stitching is very, very clear, whereas on the fake one, you can see the holes are much, much smaller and not as prominent as they are on the retail pair. When looking at the Air logo above the bubble, you can see differences here once again, but these differences are very hard to notice. So if you look at the retail pair, you can see that the Air text is actually slightly slanted, which I wouldn't expect on a retail pair. But as for the fake one, you can see that the Air logo text is incredibly straight and upright, so there is a difference here between retail and fake. Taking a look at the upper of the shoe, and we're actually going to look at the laces here. So if I give you a close-up of this, you can see there are differences in colour between the two laces. On the fake one, they give off more of an orangey vibe than an actual cream that matches the whole shoe, so the laces do stand out compared to that. I don't know if that's because the nubuck suede is an actually lighter colour and is quite dull, and they stand out a little bit more, but you can definitely see a clear difference, and it is very vivid to see on the fake one. When turning the shoe to the side and taking a look at the actual shape of the shoe, I'm not sure if you can see that, but there is a clear difference in the actual shape of the shoe. On the fake one, the toe area just looks a little bit clumpy and also swoops in and gives it a little curve at the end, so the shape is a little bit off. Looking downwards at the shoe and looking at the shape once again, we can see differences here. So if I give you a close-up of the toe box area, you can see a difference in the toe box area again. On the fake one, it looks like it's slightly slanted off to the left, whereas obviously the retail one has that perfect toe shape. I have to say, in terms of quality, the fakes really aren't that bad. Stitching quality all over the shoe is very good. I have noticed that the sole is slightly peeling away from the actual upper itself, but it's really not too bad for what is considered now an £1,000 replica, which is absolutely crazy. So now if we take a look at the left shoe and take a closer look at both of the tags on the shoe. So as you can see from the close-up, there is a difference between a retail and a fake pair here. You can see that the fake one is a slightly lighter color than the retail one. The retail one is also a little bit more glossy and shines a little bit more in the lighting. The text, however, on both of them is correct. There's no difference between the text. They're both done in white and they seem to be in the same font and positionally correct. The hanging Air Jordan tag as well is exactly the same. Even the color is identical. So these are a very good replica indeed. And that is pretty much the end of this review, and it's worrying to say how good these are. There still are some signs to note if you are trying to purchase a retail pair. However, they are hard to see, so that's why I do recommend, if you are going to use a legit check company, check out Legitmark, who are in my description. If you want to pay so much for a retail pair, you're really going to want to make sure they are the real deal. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great day.